that, we want to apply the principle of tolling the roads. Before you toll a road, you are expected to give an alternative. So what we want to do for Nigerians is to give a credible and cheaper fuel as an alternative before we fully deregulate. And we believe we will be able to achieve this later this year. And this, of course, is going to be a responsible way to also maintaining our environment. There were indicators that yesterday that the federal government, the Nigerian Labour Congress, and the Trade Union Congress will meet for talks after the Easter break. The Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige, said the government had not tabled any pump price before the Labour, contrary to the claim that the government proposed a pump price of about 202 naira per litre to 206 naira per litre, which Labour rejected by insisting on 168 naira per litre. Now, I'll take you a bit down the memory lane right now, sometime September 4th, 2020. Timothy Silva spoke on the anniversary of his 1 year in office as a Minister of State for Petroleum. He spoke with journalists in Abuja. And I have to pick a bit of what he said on that occasion.
I think that it has become necessary once again to clarify issues around the regulation. Expectedly, the regulation is something that touches all of us very minutely because it's at the core of everything we do. Because the product we are talking about is at the core of our daily lives, moving around. So every Nigerian is somehow affected, one way or the other, by this policy direction. And I believe that today there is a consensus that this policy direction is a necessary one. Successive governments in this country have all desired to achieve deregulation. Some lack the political will. At other times, the time was not very appropriate because the product we are talking about actually is very sensitive to the price of crude oil. When you say PMS, you must understand that it is refined from crude oil. And therefore, whenever the crude oil price goes up, you will understand that the refined product, the price of the refined product in the marketplace will also go up. Because the feedstock goes up, the price of the feedstock go up, then of course the derivative from that feedstock is also going to go up. And that is why when the price of the feedstock went down, this government was able to at least transfer some of that joy to the public. And at that time, we kept saying, and we have never minced words, that when the price comes up, when the price of crude goes up, that we will be seeing some of that movement at the pump, which is what is happening today. You all know Mr. President's alignment with the position of the poor people in Nigeria. He has always been on the side of the poor people. And left to Mr. President, I am very certain that he will never have increased pump price. But for this to happen, we must understand that this must be an inevitable policy direction, especially at this time of COVID-19. COVID-19 saw oil prices at the zero zone, something that has never happened before, at the negative zone. Some countries had to pay people for them to come and evacuate their crude oil.
So you heard Silva there is the Minister of State for Petroleum. He also assured then that the president will not be willing to increase the pump price of petrol. But it seems tables are changing right now. What's Labour saying? A Labour source said, "We're standing by our position that there is no need for fuel price increase, but the government and Labour will resume talks immediately after the Easter break. We want the pump price to be 168 naira per litre. We were able to prove our point about 3 weeks ago when we suggested alternatives to the government team, which was led by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. Boss Mustafa." The Labour source said we presented some cost-cutting measures to the government, which will make 168 naira per litre realistic. We've rejected 202 or 206 naira per litre. We're waiting for the resumption of talks after the Easter break. And Dr. Chris Ngige said last night, we agreed to resume talks after the Easter break about 1 month ago when we met. All right, so we have to keep our fingers crossed, but it looks really like the price of fuel will go up after March. So you better get ready for that. So what are we going to do? Nation newspaper has this story. EU tackles Nigeria over ban on dairy products, and that's coming from the Nation's newspaper. At 95, I can no longer lead Afenifere, says Fashionati. And this one says, Wakili, 2 sons remanded in prison. This also story is also very important here. IG can remain in office till 2024. Buhari Malami tell court. And that story is from the front page of the Nation newspaper. NDDC, we gave governors 100 million naira each for COVID-19. NDDC said they gave governors how much? 100 million naira each for COVID-19. So, do we know how our government or our governors have spent this money? The Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, has claimed that it gave each of the governors of the 9 oil-producing states 100 million naira each as COVID-19 palliatives. Chairman, Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petitions, Senator Patrick Ayo Akinyelure, told reporters in Abuja that NDDC officials made the claim. He said the Senate may summon the governors to testify on how the money was spent. Lawan receives first jab. Senate President urges more advocacy. Senate President Ahmed Lawan has received the first jab of AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine at the National Assembly. And there's a picture here indicating that he took the jab. Lawan receiving his first jab at the National Assembly in Abuja yesterday. So that's from the Nation newspaper. As another story that I'm interested in here, I think it should also interest you. EFCC to bankers, asset declaration now a must. That's EFCC to bankers. So take a slice of that story. But before I take a slice of that story, I guess you should just listen to Bauer, where he was making that statement yesterday at the government house.
Assurance that I'm going to give Nigerians going forward is that we will do our best to ensure that this country is free of economic and financial crimes. Let me just put this. We understood that the tail end of every financial crime is for the criminal to have access to the funds that he or she have illegitimately gotten. And we are worried about the roles of financial institutions. And we have discussed, God willing, we hope that all financial institutions, particularly the bankers, will declare their assets as provided for by the law in accordance with the Bank Employees Declaration of Asset Act. And that the EFCC come the 1st of June 2021, will be demanding for this declaration of asset forms seen by the bankers, and for us to see that, of course, the line that we have drawn come the 1st of June is fully complied with by all bankers in particular.
Okay, you heard Bauer right there. It says EFCC come 1st of June 2021 will be demanding these asset declaration forms filled by the bankers. So the line that we have drawn from the 1st of June is really complied with by all bankers. Bauer said this move will enhance financial sanity and make it easy to track illegally acquired wealth. Do you agree with Bauer? Do you agree that we need to put our searchlight on banks and bank staff? You know, there have been a lot of criticism around this move. He's been talking about crimes, financial crimes, and the banks. Do you think we need to know what happens in the banks? But this has to do with the assets of bankers, you know, not those who are transacting business with bankers. And so how does this relate to the banking operations? You know, I'd like you to be part of this one. So you can get me on Facebook. We're on Splash FM Facebook fan page. I'm there live. You can also make your comment there. Thank you, Edward Koyeladele, for your comment. I'd like to also hear from you. Make your comments on Facebook. You'll also be able to call me when the time comes. 0809 155 1055, 0805 699 8678, and 0706 949 3000. As I said, we are on Facebook Live, and so you can join us on Facebook. A number of people are already there watching. So be there with us. Let's interact. What is happening in the banks? The Punch newspaper says differential wage bill starts with governors, political office holders, Labour tells National Assembly. Start with governors. El-Rufai, other governors behind wage bill, Labour alleges. And Speaker defense sponsor asked workers to articulate grievances. And 50 suspects arrested for robbery, kidnapping, firearms recovered. That's coming from the Punch newspaper. CBN NCC fixed USSD banking transaction at 6 naira 98 kobo. Nigeria's inflation rises again, hit 4-year high in February. And FG recorded 1.48 trillion naira fiscal deficit in Q4. That's coming from the CBN. Let's take a break. We'll be back in a moment. I'm expecting to read you on Facebook and on Twitter. Stay with us.
Wow, it's here.
What's that? What's here, Mom?
The new Maxi 20 hand sanitizer.
Tell me about it, Mom.
The new Maxi 20 hand sanitizer is carefully produced to help us fight germs and provide the right protection for every family.
Introducing the new Maxi 20 hand sanitizer to help you fight germs every day.
Mom, now I can clean up germs that touch my hand and be fine, right?
Yes, son, you can, because Maxi 20 will keep you protected.
Yippee!
Maxi 20, war on germs. Another quality product from Intercontinental Distillers Limited.
Come, you don't put yeast for bread before? The dough go just the rise like 5,000 naira when you put for EcoBank. Before you know, if it become 25,000 naira.
Oga Baker!
Hi! Now so EcoBank customers just they dance a willow as EcoBank Super Rewards don't begin boku their money falla. Save 5,000 naira for your EcoBank account for 30 days or open new EcoBank account with 5,000 naira deposit. And you fit be one of the 50 people who go collect 25,000 naira a woof every week for 4 months. 4 people go win 1 million naira grand prize each. Collect EcoBank card for your account and link your card to *326# or EcoBank mobile to increase your assurance. Terms and conditions apply. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
When we say the new Maltina pineapple and vanilla taste like adventure, here's what we mean. You kit up like an action hero. Check yourself out in the mirror. And then, in slow-mo, you grab a chilled bottle of Maltina pineapple or Maltina vanilla and enjoy the tastespiration.
Own the flavor with the new Maltina vanilla, pineapple or classic, and let the tastespiration fill you. Maltina, share happiness.
awesome screen.
Hey! Don't you think it's time to change that phone and step up to something bigger and better? Samsung has yet another exciting offer. You heard right. It's the Galaxy A71, A51, and A31 at a reduced price of 151,500 naira, 99,500 naira, and 86,000 naira respectively. That's not all. You also get 3,000 naira airtime when you buy the Galaxy A12, A02, and A02s. Hurry now. Offer valid while stock lasts. T's and C's apply.
ọ̀rẹ́ mi àkànní ó kàn bẹ lọ́wọ́ mi ó sì wù kí n fi dókòwò.
ṣé kí n mọ́ tàn bóròdì. fresh farms ní kó o bá dòwò pọ̀ ló bá kẹ́sọ̀rọ̀ nulẹ̀ lówó rẹ̀ ó bá máa ṣiṣẹ́ fún ọ.
ìgbà tó ti dé o fún gbogbo èèyàn ìgbélárugẹ iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ abisuta lóko abàgbàdo bọ̀kọ̀ àlọ́run ebè. fresh farms iléeṣẹ́ abánipilẹ̀ ọlà lẹ́ka ètò ọ̀gbìn ló ń ṣe bẹbẹ láti máa fi iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ pilẹ̀ ọlà fún gbogbo èèyàn nípa pípín èrè oko òòjọ́ fresh farms produce káàkiri orílẹ̀-èdè nàìjíríà àti nípa ìbánidókòwò lẹ́ka ètò ọ̀gbìn tẹ́sí máa rere ní tabua ní ìlànà àròjẹ àti taládà ńlá ẹlẹ́dókòwò lórí ọ̀gbìn kaṣú gbàgùdá ata tòmátì àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ tẹ́sí tún lórí ọ̀fẹ́ láti máa tọpinpin èrè oko yín lórí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára àti lójúkorojú ìlànà ìgbàlódé tó wáyà ní fresh farms ti ṣàgbékalẹ̀ yìí o fún àlàyé kàn sí wọn lórí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára www.freshfarms.ng tàbí kẹ́ ẹ pè sórí ẹ̀rọ ìbáraẹnisọ̀rọ̀ yìí 09073612624 fresh farms pípín èrè oko òòjọ́ dìrọ̀rùn.
Uncle Dentist, wetin be cavities and how Colgate take dey protect my teeth from cavities? Shey dey use comfort?
No dear, na hole for teeth dey cause most tooth pain wey be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection take brush every day, the confirmed formula go help keep natural calcium inside our teeth wey go protect them from tooth decay.
Time don reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Now, the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
Don't let power outage interrupt your life. Genos inverters come on automatically during power outage, so you enjoy continuous power without interruption. Get Genos and enjoy power without noise and without manual changeover. Call 0700-111-2233. That is 0700-111-2233. Genos inverters and batteries, energizing lives.
Ó yá gbogbo èèyàn màmá bàbá ẹni tó tóbi ẹni tẹ́rẹ́ tàbí rùmùrùmù ṣé ìṣẹ́pọ̀ mẹ́fà ní kun tiẹ̀ tàbí ẹyọ kọ́bọ̀rọ̀ gidi gbogbo yín la pè mọ nǹkan tọwọ́ rẹ bá bà kájọ ṣeré ìdárayá. ẹ dúró náà ẹ jẹ́ kí sáré sẹ́ẹ̀tì díẹ̀ mu náà. ẹ jẹ́ lọ gbogbo èèyàn la pèsè eré ìdárayá pẹ̀lú ohunkóhun tó lè fọ́kàn àtàrà lókun nínú ìdíje 3 Crowns Make Fitness Challenge amárata kébé ọlọ́gbọ̀n ọjọ́ forúkọsílẹ̀ lónìí ní www.femininelounge.com/competition.
3 Crowns Milk. Healthy moms, happy families.
Splash FM 105.5.
All right, welcome back. Still Splash 105.5 FM, your integrity station. Is a time for us to take a look at the newspapers again and also hear from you. Like I said, as I said earlier, the number to call 08091551055, 08056998678, and 0706949300. Oluwo Tolulope Temitope is on Facebook this morning. Good morning to you, Temitope. Good morning. I think this new EFCC chairman is intelligent. Some bankers aid politicians with looting, and I guess the corrupt ones will resign before the June deadline. Deregulation of the petroleum industry is inevitable, and that's the way to go. And security, he said, is still a concern in Nigeria. And you prayed, God bless Nigeria. Right? So, God bless Nigeria. I'd like to hear from you too. Get on our Facebook fan page. We're there live, and I'd like to read from you. I'd like to hear from you this morning as we take a look at some of the stories resonating with us. I also will be taking your calls in a moment. Eminent virologist Tomori says we shouldn't panic over some EU countries' suspension of AstraZeneca, but NAFDAC must monitor vaccinated persons. No fewer than 13 countries in Europe have temporarily suspended the rollout of the AstraZeneca vaccine following concerns about deep vein thrombosis, pulmonary embolism, and blood clotting. A professor of virology, Oyewale Tomori, said this, the Punch newspaper this morning. So you want to take a look at that and read that interview. It's really, really educating for us to just take a look at it. Let's quickly run through the Nigerian Tribune before we begin to take your calls. WTO to mediate as EU complains about Nigeria. FG states FCT owed 32.915 trillion naira as of December 2020. That's coming from DMO this morning. Nigeria's inflation rate hits 17.33%, highest in 4 years. Prices of food items highest in Kogi, Ondo, Ebonyi State, from page 6 of Nigerian Tribune. 5 kidnapped on Ijebu-Ode-Ibadan Road. Police rescue bank staff, palm wine tapper. Search continues for 3 others. That's coming from Nigerian Tribune this morning. Again, FRS claims authority over stamp duties collection. Wakili, 2 sons docked, remanded in prison. And 3 dead as over 280 people get sick in Kano. Adebanjo emerges acting Afenifere leader as Fashoroti steps down. Afenifere remains unyielding on restructuring good governance. He says, Constitution empowers me to extend IGP's tenure. That's coming from Buhari. And NBS report exposes APC's lies about employment, job creation, coming from PDP, reacting to the NBS report. Hostile communities, vast border line, impeding efforts against arms proliferation. That's coming from Customs this morning, so you can take a look at that. Bank customers, I also told you earlier, to pay 6 naira 96 kobo per USSD transaction. That's coming from the CBN this morning. I want more hat tricks with Leicester. Iheanacho making that claim this morning. The back page of Nigerian Tribune, the sporting scene. This is my worst Man City team, Guardiola claimed. 200 million pounds mega fight. Joshua preparing for furious tactics. Sweden recall Ibrahimovic 5 years after international retirement. That's coming from the back page of Nigerian Tribune. For more of sporting stories, you can just join us at 7:30 when you have our sporting team in-house for Sports Bank. I'm sure that you will enjoy every moment therein. Ni Michael Adeyemi, thank you for getting on to us on Facebook. I'd like to also hear from many of you. Wakili, 2 sons remanded in prison. Suspected warlord Iskilu Wakili has been remanded in a correctional facility in Oyo State. Wakili, 70, was remanded by Niyakunku Chief Magistrate Court in Ibadan, the state capital, on charges of conspiracy, murder, kidnapping, and armed robbery. He is reckoned to be behind series of violent crimes in the Ibarapa area of the state. All right, so let's take some of your calls this morning. Hello, good morning. Oh, okay, that's gone. You can call me now, 0809 155 1055. Yes, 0809 155 1055. So, who is here with me? I'd like to hear from you. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Oluwaseun Akinola.
Good morning, sir.
I'm Koyi Ladele from Ibadan.
Welcome.
Let me speak on PMS, petroleum.
Yes.
No excuse the federal government gives is acceptable to Nigeria on the issue of petrol. Deregulation or no deregulation, the federal government should know that Nigerians are suffering, serious suffering, and the high price of petrol will further compound their suffering. Oluwaseun, there is nothing stopping the federal government subsidizing fuel to Nigeria to 50 naira per liter.
But the federal government is saying that it's taking part of its budget.
As a country, we should have the benefit of our oil. Do you know, it is amazing that there is no refinery working amongst our 3 or 4 refineries in Nigeria. Yet, amount of money, huge amount of money is being expended on turnaround maintenance. What are they maintaining? I want to let you know that there is a cartel that is eating fat on petroleum issue in Nigeria.
Okay, sir.
And they are making the people to suffer.
All right.
It is not acceptable. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much. Reverend Koye says it is not acceptable to deregulate the downstream sector. I'll take a break. I'll be back in a moment.
GoTV decoder will come with 1 month GoTV Jolly subscription. Don't drop from 8,400 naira to 6,900 naira.
Okay, so we're back. I'd like to hear from you. So hit me up on the phone lines. What do you say about deregulation? What do you say about the move by Bauer, the EFCC? What do you say about the USSD charges? What do you say about the insecurity? What do you say about the state of the nation? I'd like to hear from you. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining me.
This is Ayeko. I'm calling from Ilara.
Ayeko, welcome.
Thank you. The major characteristic of the Buhari administration is complaint. And this is the basis of complete mediocrity. For how long are we been crying for difficult things in Nigeria? Every day of our life, we are living in the shadow of death. That is the area of security. Look at petroleum. They complained and they castigated government of Jonathan, as well as the price of petroleum. Now they have increased, they have raised the price of petroleum more than 5 times since they came into power in 2015. So the government did not know what to do. They are completely in dilemma. The best thing for them is to resign because they are making life difficult for Nigerians. May God deliver us from the hand of these people. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Ayeko. We would like to hear from you too. You see, first subsidy in Nigeria are enormous. At last estimate, some time ago, the state subsidizes gasoline to the tune of $3.9 billion US, almost double the entire health budget. Subsidies exist because the government fixes the price of gasoline for consumers below the international price and uses government resources to pay for the difference. Do we want to continue with this trend? Yes, we need to talk to ourselves and try to understand it. Do we need to continue with this? Some have said that Nigeria still pays the lowest price of pump price of petrol, around the sub-region. There are some countries where pump price is really double what we pay at the moment. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Show.
Yes. All right, so let's talk. Who's on the line, please? Charles.
Charles from Yamacho.
Welcome, Charles.
I don't support that subsidy because already the government is complaining that they don't have money to do this.
Yes.
Then if you say there is that subsidizing again to bring another problem, then I think the government should regulate the petroleum industry. But the regulation really is not the main answer. The main answer is for government to build more refineries. Anything you want to do, if you don't have refineries in Nigeria here, functioning refineries, whether you like it or not, the prices will still be high. But if the products are being refined inside the country, naturally it must go down because you will have to go outside, take the goods outside to refine and bring it back. But the government of the politicians, they have refineries outside. That's why they are always bent on taking it outside to go and refine. So the solution is for the government to build more refineries and make the existing one work. That's the way the price can come down. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Charles. Charles is saying that he supports the total deregulation of the petroleum downstream sector. Hello, good morning. I'd like to hear from you this morning. Good morning. Hello. Welcome.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Who's on the line, please?
Yes, my name is Toby.
Toby?
Yes, yes.
Toby from where?
Monia, from Monia.
From Monia. Thank you, Toby, for joining me. Let's talk.
Yes, please, you permit me to digress from the topic of this morning. I wanted to bring your attention and the attention of your listeners to something going on around Oyo State now. Just yesterday, I received a bill saying there's a land use charge bill, and of which on the bill was carrying close to 19,000 naira, and for which landowners or property owners, including residential buildings, will pay a particular fee, and of which I learned that if you do not pay that fee, your property might be sealed. So I was just wondering that we're told that basic amenities of life is food, clothing, and shelter. That was what we were mouthing as very young kids. So I think, or don't you think it is a bit hellish or satanic, for lack of a better word, to charge or to tax people on things that are basic? So I'm sure if our leadership or the politicians, and when I mean politicians, now I'm talking about both PDP and APC, I am not coming from the from the point of partisanship now. If they have the opportunity to tax us for the air that we breathe in, I'm very sure they would not think twice, because it seems once they get to that political echelon that they're always hoping to get to, they lose sense of which reality is on ground. Because why would you say people should pay, and if they do not pay, there will be penalties? We have several struggling homeowners. Some houses are not even complete. Some people are just managing to stay there.
Yes.
You do not provide electricity for them. You do not provide water for them. People are literally their own government in their own house. And yet, you still want to extract money from them. It is totally bad. And if the leadership of the Oyo State government is listening, or any of their handlers they are listening, I think they should take this to the governor and tell him to think twice, because this shouldn't be what should be happening in a time like this. Thank you very much.
All right, Toby, before you go, I'm going to call you. I'll try to get your number. Your number ends with 932, if I'm correct.
Yes.
Great.
Yes, you're right.
I'll call you later in the day so that we can have a chat on this. But I hope you know that land use charge is statutory in governance.
Yes, I totally understand that. But I remember there was a time, was it around 2018 in Lagos, that the NBA actually told former Governor Ambody to reverse. I guess he gave him a 7-day ultimatum. That was still reading that particular news line on the Punch yesterday. So I think even if it is statutory, there are some things that should carry human face. That is my point.
All right, Toby. We'll discuss it. We'll bring this issue on the front burner, and we'll bring that for you to listen to. So don't worry about it. Thank you so much, Toby. It's a good point that you have raised, and we're happy that you raised it. So this is why the platform is called The Conversation. It's for us to talk about issues, that are germane to you, and we want to hear from you as well. Good morning. Welcome.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you for joining me.
This is Hafiz calling from Ibadan here.
I didn't hear your name very well. Please, can you say Hafiz? Hafiz. Welcome, Hafiz.
I want to raise like 2 or 3 questions.
Go ahead.
One is on the area of infrastructure and government spending. Along Songwele route, we have some street lights here that have been there since ages. Now, recently, in about a few days, and I know that they are trying to raise another street light there, which to me is sort of a wasting of state resources. If the existing ones are faulty, you can have a way of fixing it instead of having to start afresh. Because at the end of the day, we have spent certain percentage of the annual budget on all these things that I don't see any need for. Fine, there is need for beautification and electrification, but are these things sustainable? The last government in Oyo State planted flowers every day. Where are the flowers today? Those are the questions we need to ask ourselves. That is number one. Number two, on the area of revenue generation in the state, we know that the government will always find avenue to generate funds, but at least there should be certain level of efficiency and their model of operation. I say you understand. Then hello?
I do. I understood you. Oh, there. You're making very great point there. Hafiz, can you call me back? I like to... Oh, there. Hafiz, please call me back. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thank you for joining me. I'd like to hear from you. What's the name where you calling me from?
This is Lucky Rabo calling from Nevada.
Hey, Lucky Rabo. Welcome. Lucky, let's do this quickly. Long time.
Yeah. Earlier issues we were discussing about fuel.
Yes.
They are just people in government, they are just proving themselves as being selfish and self-centered. See, who is the owner of all these filling stations we are having? It is all these politicians. Who are those in the banking industry as chief executives? They are the friends and children and wives of these politicians. Who are those in the high institutions as vice chancellor, rector, and all the likes? It is still these politicians and their cronies. You understand? So even various businesses, look at this cooking gas. When local people were selling cooking gas, it was around 1,71819. The moment the politicians came in and they started installing cooking gas facility in filling stations, cooking gas has risen to 4,000 something. So the political class are always extorting money from the masses. Why they get everything free of charge from government money? So they get billions upon billions. That is not even their right. Stealing our money for their own personal use. They travel abroad with our money. They take medical treatment with our money. They do everything with our money. But at every little opportunity, they come back to increase things that the common masses are supposed to be benefiting from. Look at electricity. You don't have electricity, but you keep on increasing electricity tariff, and you must pay. You don't have it, but you must pay for the services that you are not enjoying. You can imagine. Okay, Nigeria is an oil-producing state. Okay, you are telling us that you cannot even maintain refinery within Nigeria. Okay, let us say the government is so much irresponsible that they cannot maintain refinery in Nigeria. You are not telling me that because crude oil price is increasing in the world market, you will have to be increasing the local price of fuel in the country. How do you explain it that you have so much crude oil, you take it out free of charge, then you now refine? When you now bring back the refined product will now be more expensive than the international or global price of crude oil. Your own oil, the one you sell abroad that you export, the money come in that global price to the Nigerian account. Fine, you make your money so much there, you are making so much gain when you export your crude oil. But the one you want to refine for your local use, you don't pay for it. You take it out free of charge from Nigeria. Okay. So you're only paying for refining abroad, even though if you are useless. As a government, you cannot maintain refinery in your country. You are taking crude oil out of Nigeria free of charge. So the expenses you are paying abroad should just be limited to transporting your crude oil abroad and refining and bringing it back to sell.
All right, Lucky.
So
Thank you.
The government should actually sell cheaper, in fact, not up to 50 naira per liter.
Okay. Thank you, Lucky. Well, people have a lot of postulations, a lot of calculations on this issue of fuel, but I will no longer be able to take any call. I have to go right now, but thank you very much. I'll be speaking, he was here on the radio yesterday. I still want to speak with him today again so that we can tie some other corners. I'll be speaking with the jury later on this issue of this fuel. We're taking him on a little bit on it, so you can look up to that at the time of 8 o'clock this morning. But I have a question for all of us. Is Nigeria going forward or moving backward? That question is very important to me, if you can answer it. Is Nigeria moving forward or going backward? Okay. This is our nation, and we must make it work. I'm Oluwaseun Akinola. We're back at 8 o'clock, but at 7:30, you will have time for Sports Bank. Stay with us, don't go away. This is still your integrity station.
From the top
top of the Fisher Building.
This is